Welcome back to Ghost Pirate Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today I give you 10 more recommendations on Shudder. Let's get to the list. So Mad God is a 2022 stop-motion live-action hybrid horror movie, written, directed, and produced by Phil Tippett. So while working on RoboCop 2, Tippett would begin filming what would become Mad God. But with CGI becoming so popular, he believed that stop-motion was dead. So he shelved it, but with encouragement from members of his studio, he decided to start filming it again and finished it up last year. So the movie starts out with a figure known as the Assassin, who descends from the heavens into a nightmarish pit, full of monsters, a cacophony of savagery and cruelty, with no hope, only pain and gore. This movie is wild. It looks absolutely amazing. Just an absolute must-see for any fans of horror. It's extremely gruesome, uncomfortable, and straight up disturbing, so be warned. It also doesn't really have a lot in the way of story. But the story isn't what makes this worth watching, because this is a nightmarish, hellscape spectacle of a movie. This is for the really hardened fans of horror though, because it could really bother you if you're not prepared for it. But if you're into dark, demented, twisted shit, then definitely check this one out.
Don't be frightened, dear.
Can't let you go, miss.
So Offseason is a 2021 atmospheric horror movie, directed by Mickey Keating and stars Jacqueline Donahue, Joe Swanberg, Richard Brake, and Melora Walters. So upon receiving a letter that her mother's grave has been vandalized, Marie quickly returns to the isolated island where her mother is buried.
Please come at once. Your mother's grave has been vandalized.
This is an emergency. I have to get to the cemetery as soon as possible. Please.
As she arrives, the island closes for the winter. Left stranded, Marie quickly realizes something is not right on this island, and she must unveil the mystery of her mother's troubled past in order to survive. So this is a movie with lots of mood and atmosphere.
She didn't want to come back here. She didn't want to be buried here. There's something wrong with this place.
It feels like a classic horror movie, like something from the 70s. And it's a slow burn full of mystery, but it keeps you invested the entire time. With its fun, creepy vibe, it's a great little flick, and one I definitely think you can have fun with.
I know this book will drive people crazy.
Well, let's hope so. The movie comes out next month.
So In the Mouth of Madness is a 1994 supernatural horror movie directed by John Carpenter. It stars Sam Neill, Julie Carmen, and Jürgen Prochnow. It tells the story of John Trent, an insurance investigator who visits a small town while looking into the disappearance of a successful author. He begins to question his sanity as the lines between fiction and reality blur.
This whole thing has been staged.
You just get out.
This is not reality.
It's all happening for real, Trent.
This is a strange, wonderful movie. It feels like a twisted nightmare gone horribly wrong that just leads to madness. It's mysterious and haunting, with constant twists that keep you guessing. And it's just packed full of iconic moments, with absolutely mind-bending visuals. This is one of my favorite films ever that I think is an absolute must-watch.
I just want it all to be over.
So A Banquet is a 2021 grim horror movie. It's directed by Ruth Paxton and written by Justin Bull. It stars Sienna Guillory, Jessica Alexander, and Ruby Stokes. The story's about a widowed mother whose husband and father of her daughters, Betsy and Isabel, dies of suicide. And one night, Betsy has what she considers to be a supernatural experience that result in her refusing to eat.
About a beautiful young woman. She's perfect in every way. Except for one thing. She never eats.
So this is a bleak, uncomfortable movie that leads to some extremely disturbing scenes. And it goes in some very surprising directions that just might be too much for some. Because this is not a fun movie, nor is it really a scary movie. It's a slow burn, dark movie that's very well done. So this sounds like your brand, then definitely add this to your list.
Glowed from within, strange and eternal.
So Mandy is a 2018 psychedelic action horror movie. Directed by Panos Cosmatos and produced by Elijah Wood. It stars Nicolas Cage, Andrea Riseborough, and Linus Roche. The story takes place in the Pacific Northwest in 1983, where outsiders Red and Mandy lead a peaceful, loving existence, when their haven is savagely destroyed by a cult led by the sadistic Jeremiah, catapulting Red into a wild journey filled with blood, vengeance, and laced with deadly fire.
So what you gonna do with that thing?
I'm going hunting.
So what you hunting?
It's crazy evil.
This movie is absolutely fucking wild. It's creative and visually brilliant with so much style. And it's definitely what is considered to be an art house movie, which is not for everyone. But keep in mind, this movie also has an absolutely over-the-top Nicolas Cage performance. It's also full of savage, gory carnage. It's an experience more than it is a movie, and it's a trip I highly suggest taking.
Compression technology, the Veggie Masher turns your vegetables into a tasty, mouth-watering paste.
So VHS 94 is a 2021 found footage anthology, and it's the fourth installment in the VHS movie series, originating from a screenplay by David Bruckner and Brad Miska, with segments directed by Simon Barrett, Timo Tangento, Jennifer Reeder, and Chloe Okuno. The overarching plot follows a brutish police SWAT team who stumble across a sinister cult compound. So this is another wild one, and as much as I enjoyed the first VHS movie, I think this is even a step up from that. All the segments in this work, but in just very different ways. It's funny, gory, exciting, over the top, and just a very fun watch. I think if you're a fan of found footage, this is an absolute must.
You like a werewolf or something?
So After Midnight is a 2019 romantic monster movie. Directed by Jeremy Gardner and Christina Stella, it stars Jeremy Gardner and Bree Grant. So 10 years into his romance with Abby, Hank wakes up with nothing more than a parting note. But Abby's departure soon becomes the least of his concerns. As his behavior becomes more and more erratic, Hank slips further and further into his own paranoia and loneliness.
I'm going crazy without her. I'm going around town telling people there's a big bad wolf trying to blow our house down.
Maybe she got tired of waiting around.
You just tell your sister she ought to just come on home.
This is a slow burn drama with a constant feeling of dread and suspense that just slowly grow throughout. It's also a movie that misleads you with some great surprises along the way. And it relies on Jeremy Gardner to do the heavy lifting to carry this film. And he doesn't disappoint. He just really gives an impactful performance. This is a great little gem that I think is definitely worth a watch.
I will take you to a place where my friends foregather. There you will find stories of such blood-curdling terror, it will make your toes curl and your hair reach up towards the sky. Come at your peril.
So The Monster Club is a 1981 British anthology horror movie. It's directed by Roy Baker and stars Vincent Price and John Carradine. It tells the story of a vampire who invites a horror author to his secret club where monsters go to drink and dance. And he soon tells the author 3 stories of terror involving a lonely creature, hunters of the undead, and a mysterious village. I discovered this movie a few years back, and it's become one of my favorites because it is an absolute horror treasure. It's silly and campy with wonderful performances by both Vincent Price and John Carradine, both giving it their all considering their age at the time. It isn't scary at all, but it's a charming, fun horror classic. So I recommend you get some popcorn and enjoy.
Even serial killers live next door to somebody.
So 1984 is a 2018 dramatic horror movie. It's directed by RKSS Filmmaking Group and stars Graham Bercher, Judah Lewis, and Caleb Emery. The story is about a teenage conspiracy theorist who begins to suspect that a neighboring police officer is a serial killer. With help from 3 of his friends, they launch a daring investigation that soon turns deadly.
They're likely looking for a white male. Preferred targets appear to be males aged 12 to 16.
It's a serial killer.
So this is a fun teen mystery for a lot of it, along the lines of It Chapter 1. But this takes a turn and becomes much darker, and really becomes a unique movie, not following the rules. It has some really great acting from the young teen stars as well, making this movie a great watch. This is an entertaining movie that's definitely worth checking out.
There's something in there. It looks like Ellie.
It's here.
Steven.
So The Cellar is a 2022 supernatural horror movie, written and directed by Brendan Muldowney and stars Alicia Cuthbert and Owen Mackin. It follows a mother whose daughter mysteriously disappears in the cellar of a home they just moved into, and she soon discovers there is an ancient and powerful entity controlling their home that she will have to face or risk losing her family's souls forever.
Ellie!
We've talked to her friends, but no leads, unfortunately.
Something happened in the cellar.
So this movie really surprised me. It went in a very different direction than I thought it was going to, and it was more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be as well. However, this is not a game changer, but it does have some fun elements you don't see very often. It goes into some ancient ones, Lovecraftian elements. I always get excited when I see anything with even the slightest Lovecraftian elements. But this is just a fun little popcorn horror movie that will be perfect for any Saturday night. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know if there's anything else on Shudder I should check out, because your recommendations help me out so much. Also, if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel. And when I post videos like this, and I post videos like this every single week, I also want to give a huge, massive, enormous thank you to my patrons, because you guys, your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron and helping to produce this channel, the link is down in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember guys, horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time.